Pillager by Toxic Masculinity. Now, first things first, the fact that this brand's name is Toxic Masculinity, like they just threw this on the table and ran with it, is absolutely hilarious to me. Like, I'm sorry if I offended anyone with that, but that is just awesome. Like, that is wild. But the product itself, let's talk about it. So the cherry vanilla flavor. So my buddy texted me about this and was like, dude, you got to smell this. I was literally drinking a Zero Wild Cherry Pepsi at the same time, and I smelled it, and I was like, pretty damn similar. That being said, I got some cherry, I got some vanilla, but I also got like this weird like chemically taste to it. Almost kind of like a cough medicine, like a cola version of like Lil Wayne's Purple Drink. You know what though? I say it all the time. We're doing it for the effects. Like, just drink it, get over it, and let's get to it. So the beta tingles on this reminded me of something like the Joker. It was a nice tingle from ear to ear. They came in about 10 minutes-ish, and they spiked for about the next 5, and then they lingered for like the next 20, like really, really mild. And then once I started working out and started moving, they were gone. Now the energy on this, you're talking 300 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous. My kids sound like elephants upstairs. 100 milligrams of dicaffeine malate, so about 375 total after the yield. Now, I love when companies put the extended caffeine in there because not only does it carry you longer through a workout, but it helps mitigate the come down. With this, with the 300 milligrams of caffeine anhydrous, it wasn't a ton to come down off of, so it was a really smooth roll down. Now, when I drank it, the first 20 minutes were uneventful. From 20 to 40 is when it really started to build, and then once it capped out, I had plenty of energy to get up, get moving on an early morning workout, start chucking some weight around. So this to me is like a really good amount. Anything less probably wouldn't work well for me because, again, I have a high tolerance of caffeine. But you people out there who don't, who probably use the run-of-the-mill stuff around 2 to 250, this will be plenty for you. Now, the focus aspect of this, it is pretty loaded up in this category. So you're talking 1,000 milligrams of taurine, 1,000 milligrams of L-tyrosine, 600 milligrams of alpha-GPC. You have Arrhiogenesis at 200 milligrams, that 2-amino at 150 milligrams, Schizandrol, which is traditionally used in Chinese medicine, which can support cognitive function. And then you have Rowolskine, alpha-yo, at 2 milligrams. So that being said, this came in shortly after the caffeine hit me, and it wasn't like a bang, blow the top of my skull off. I did feel a little bit of a cooling sensation at first, and then from then on, it was like a nice little mood elevation. And then as I started working out and progressing through the workout, I noticed that it gave me kind of like a serious attitude. Not like a wild aggression, but I was like serious about what I was doing. I was serious about lifting the weights and like getting that shit done. And it wasn't like over the top by any means. It was like just enough, just a touch to give me like a nice lock in and just focus on what I was doing. Now the pumps on this, you're talking 6,000 milligrams of L-citrulline and some added sodium. That being said, I was pretty tight and vascular, but I would consider it like average. What I like about it is I can stack it. I have plenty of really good pump products that I really enjoy using. So when you stack this, it'll really take it to the next level. Or you can say, screw it, and you're going to get some decent blood flow as it is. Now, side note with this, it did sit in my stomach a little hard. Now, again, that could just be me, but I ended up taking a bite of my cookie dealer, and really, it just added to the energy, the carbs, and the pumps. So who cares? Overall, honestly, I don't really have much bad things to say about this. It kind of hit everything just right without getting overly done. I'd say it's like an entry level to like a mid-stim level stim junkie pre-workout. For someone who wants to dabble in the dark side of the stims with some of these ingredients in here, but don't know what to expect and don't want to kill yourself at the same time, this would probably work good for you. The caffeine levels aren't super high. You get a really good energy with no come down. You get a nice little head buzz without blowing the roof of your head off. You get some good blood flow that you can stack. And of course, my favorite part, the name. And again, I'm sorry if I offended anyone, but this brand doesn't seem to care. And you know what? I don't either. I think it's awesome.